Hey everybody, pull up a chair. It's the LL Sports Podcast with Jason Guarente, Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Jason, how are you? It's like winter again.
Yep, I told you, wait a week and it'll be 50 and cold. Here we are. Fun day to play baseball if you're out there.
And tennis and softball and lacrosse, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, let's start here. Let's name drop this guy. LL alum.
Uh-oh.
Cedar Crest grad.
Uh-oh.
Gabe Lewis track star.
Oh.
Shippensburg University. Do tell.
You said you were going to throw me a curveball.
There you go.
And I could never hit those in high school.
There you
but
go.
I think I can hit this one.
Go for it.
Gabe is a Cedar Crest grad who went to St. Joe's to start.
Yes.
And then he is now at Shippensburg.
Mm-hmm.
And at a meet in the PSAC, he ran the 110.03.
That's unbelievable.
That's like what the Olympians used to run when I was a kid in the
Ooh.
80s. You know, they would get under 10.
Yeah.
It was a big deal back then. Yeah. So incredible time. There was a win that day, but still, that's a record in the PSAC. And he had a sort of a star-crossed senior year, which was, I think, 2023. He got hurt in the dual meet.
Remember that.
Against McCaskey, a hamstring injury, and he kept going. He finished the postseason, but he wasn't the same. And that's, in sprints, if you're not 100%, you lose a little bit of time. You're not a contender anymore.
Pretty much.
That kind of what happened to his senior year at Cedar Crest. But he went to Division I school, wound up at Ship, and Ship is obviously a great facility. That's where they have districts and states for the high school teams, and that time is unbelievable.
What's where does that rank? What's who 10.03?
Yeah, the previous best was 10.13 in the
Okay.
PSAC, so that's a big difference.
That's
you start
full
cutting
second.
a tenth of a second off.
Tenth of a second.
In a sprint of that distance. Yeah, it's incredible.
What's the world record in the 100?
It's in the 9.5s now, I believe. Yeah, remember when Ben Johnson?
Yeah.
This will show how old I am. But in I think it was the Seoul Olympics, he ran 9.79.
Okay.
And he beat Carl Lewis. And I remember 9.79 was considered miraculous back then. But then he got busted for performance-enhancing drugs, so the 9.79 didn't count. But that's where the numbers were 40 years ago, which shows you how hard it is to bring down those times.
9.79.
Yeah, I
moving.
remember that race vividly. That was back when there was far less going on. So Carl Lewis versus Ben Johnson was the marquee sporting event of the summer.
I remember that. That was late 80s.
Yeah, it was 88.
My graduation year. Now, just to kind of put this in perspective a little bit here with Lewis, I think speaks to the factory that the Cedar Crest track program has. I mean, wow.
It is right now, and I'm going to bring up another time later in the show of a girl that doesn't even get mentioned. That will highlight the depth of Cedar Crest's program. So
that's a tease. We'll come back to that.
You got to stay for all 23 minutes.
You
today,
must,
folks.
Absolutely. Okay, tip of the cap, Gabe. My jaw dropped when I saw 10.03. I was like, is that even right?
Same here, yeah. And then I was scurrying through. What was his previous time was 10.31, which shows you how out of this world that time was. And then I looked at the record, and it was a tenth of a second faster.
Yeah, unbelievable. Okay, I'm glad we started with that. Congrats to him and success moving forward, young man. I looked at the baseball stuff. Let's jump into this one. Another name for you, Chase Prang. You wrote a nice feature about him, and I know him from football, and I can attest, hard-working kid.
Yeah, I was watching the game they played against Donegal at Melhorn Field on Friday, and he's just one of those kids that can do anything in a sports field at the high school level. You know, he's the linebacker of the year in Section 2 for football. He can pitch. He plays shortstop. He plays outfield. He's one of their best hitters. And at this time of year, I try to highlight seniors because they're not going to be around much longer. And a lot of them, and Prang is on this list, they're not going to play beyond high school. He's going to play club sports. So this is the end of his serious, major, competitive, athletic life. So I didn't intend to talk to him or write about him when I got there. That's just the way the story went. And he's having a great senior baseball season for sure.
Back-to-back 100-plus tackle seasons. That speaks to his athleticism and stick-to-itiveness, yes.
And he's a 4-year starter at Ephrata in baseball, and that's hard to do. That's a storied program.
Oh, it is.
A lot of section and league and even district championships.
So. It is. Good on Chase. Okay, we're talking hardball here. What else you got for baseball? Let's go there.
There was a big game in Section 1 last week. Township played Cedar Crest.
Yes.
And won 12-9. And Crest was up 9-8 in the 7th, and Lincoln Stoltzfus hit a 3-run triple, which was the rally that put Township over the top in that game. And that was huge because now Township's 5-0,
Okay.
and Crest is 3-2,
Okay.
and tied with Hempfield for second place. If that result flips, they're both 4-1. So that's how fragile this is. One result can really change the course of the race. So now Township's in the driver's seat at the halfway turn with a 2-game lead, and Crest goes to Landisville to play Hempfield Wednesday, and the winner of that will have the inside track towards second place.
Okay.
And baseball, you want to get in. You get in, you get a couple good pitching performances, you can win the league championship.
Oh, sure.
Hempfield won districts and states 2 years ago, did not win the league title. Township did. It is hard to win. You want to get in, you want to give yourself a chance. So that's what's at stake at Section 1. In Section 2, LS is back in first alone.
Okay.
They're 12-1 overall.
Oh, boy.
And they're so deep. Their lineup is so powerful, and their pitching staff they have more arms than most teams. You got Braden Hart, James Wall, Cooper Hillen, and Brady Scranton all hitting over 400.
Wow.
It's hard to navigate that, and that protects you from maybe that 1-0 heartbreaker, 2-1 heartbreaking loss in districts and states. So baseball, you're never safe from the fluky loss. We saw that when they lost to Solanco in extra innings, but that team is as deep and as talented as you can be, and they play in 5A, so they'll be
Interesting.
a contender all the way through to the end, I think. Section 3, Central beat Donegal at Mount Joy, so Central has the inside track there. They're 5-0. Donegal's now 4-1 in the league. Central then beat Palmyra in a non-league game.
Okay.
And Palmyra had won, I think, 36 regular season games in a row before LS got them in districts, and E-Town got Palmyra in states. They both eliminated Palmyra, who's coached by former Barnstormer Judd Heilman.
Oh,
Who played
Judd.
4 or 5 seasons with
Yeah,
the
he did.
Stormers once upon a time.
Yeah,
He
I
was
remember him.
a great high school player, and he was drafted by the Cardinals and had a lot of injuries, and he didn't flame it. But he's the Palmyra coach. That's his alma
Interesting.
mater.
I did not know that.
So they have been a regular season powerhouse, and Central beat them. Central's rolling right now, and their coach, Jeremy Morrison, was the state championship coach at Hempfield. So that's a team to keep an eye on. And they have 2 pitchers, Tanner Travitz and Colin Connolly.
Okay.
So that's what you need to get through a tournament. You need 2 big arms. So
It while this is on the top of my head, Warwick has had a run here lately. Hempfield has had a run here lately. Is Township due?
Well, they won the league 2 years ago.
But weren't they out then, like first round of districts?
Yeah, they're due for a district run.
Yeah.
And they have the roster to do it. I didn't mention Jacob Carrasco,
Okay.
who's their catcher.
Okay.
3rd-year starter. He's only a junior, going to the University of Oregon. So we're talking like big time.
Big time kid.
Yeah, he's hitting .525 with a .608 on base percentage, which is like Barry Bonds' 2004 territory or whatever that year was. 9 extra base hits, 18 runs scored. So he's perhaps the best baseball player in the LL. They're good. They have Tyler Shirk to anchor their rotation. They got Jack Kneff playing shortstop.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a 3-sport standout. So they were the team in Section 1 that had the most preseason sort of buzz and hype around them, and they've lived up to it so far.
I'd like to see them be playing to June. It's like, come on, Township.
They could, but it's hard because you got to win. You got to win 2 district games just to keep your season alive.
Yeah, if 6A's no gimme.
You get eliminated in the quarterfinals, you're done.
You're out.
So
that's rough.
And then in Section 4, Northern Lebanon's undefeated and in first place, and it's Pequay Valley and Lancaster Catholic are both 3-2. They play today, Monday, the 20th at Penn Medicine Park.
Oh, fun.
Logan Zinn is Pequay's ace, and Zach Zuber is Catholic's ace. I don't know if they're pitching today, but those are the top arms for each of those teams.
Interesting. Okay, we promised more lacrosse talk last week. Let's deliver.
Well, the big game happened.
Township Penn Manor boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were both undefeated overall.
Yes.
And in the league, obviously, before that game. And Township won 15-12.
15-12, yep.
They're 1-2 in district power ratings,
Noticed that as well.
So they're not done with each other.
No, they're going to meet a couple more times.
They'll meet at least one more, and they could meet in the league final. Township doesn't give up much. They only allowed, I think, 43 goals this season. So Penn Manor getting 12 against them is a breakthrough.
Yeah, that's an eye-opener.
But Township's still undefeated, and it's still Township. They got Brock Meglick with 20 goals, and Joe Algio, who's a basketball player, 12 goals. Ellis Voorhees Whitmer with 14. So they play again a week from today at Neffsville. The first game was at Millersville. Grant Bradburn is still the league's top scorer for Penn Manor.
His stats are crazy.
His assists are crazy.
37 assists. You're like, wow. Yeah. And then he's got 24 goals.
Yeah, it's the ability to set up other players that separates him. There's a lot of kids who can score goals at that level, but not with the assists to go with it. That's incredible.
That is. Okay, Township Penn Manor, we'll keep an eye on that. Section 2 race also interesting. Warwick 7-0, LS 6-1. Warwick beat LS 15-5. In their first meeting. They'll play again on the last day of the regular season on May 5th.
Yeah, we'll see. LS has been the perennial power. Cole Lopez is LS's guy, 35 goals, 17 assists.
Yep.
So.
I think the one that opened my eyes for Warwick, Anthony Hummel, 30 goals, 20 assists.
Yeah, him and Austin Sonder are the big 1-2 punch there.
Yep, LS is number 1. In District 3 2A power ratings.
Yep. And Cocalico's hanging around. They're a game back of second place, so I wouldn't count them out. They've been historically the other team to get out of that section for the league playoffs.
Yes. Girls Lax. Good stuff. Township 5-0. Beat their rival Hemfield last week 16-9. Hemfield 5-1. They'll play again on the last day of the regular season on May 6th. Lexi Hoffman, 42 goals for Township. She's been really good.
Yeah, that's the first big game for Township in the league. 9 goals is a lot for them to give up.
Yes.
So Hemfield did more damage against that defense than most LL teams are capable of. Township is 6-5 overall. Mm-hmm. They're playing some non-PIAA schools, so that's not what their power ratings reflect. So they have really juice the schedule. They have in recent years, but especially this year. So that is affecting their district standing. They're in that 4-5 line with Hempfield.
Yes.
So that they're going to be a team that's floating in that bracket that you do not want to face because they're going to be underseeded. They're probably the number 1 team in terms of talent, but they're not going to be seeded that way. So that's a potential landmine for somebody in the district tournament.
Agreed. My favorite Section 1 stat for girls lacrosse, Bella Paquette from Cedar Crest, 26 goals, 28 assists.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot like Grant Bradburn, another player who creates for herself and for her teammates.
Yes, the ball is in her stick quite a lot. Section 2, LS 7-0, Cocalico 6-1. LS beat Cocalico 13-10. They will play again this week. It's on Wednesday. LS at Cocalico. Cocalico wins. They force a tie for first. 2 stats that stick out is just these LS kids.
They scored crazy goals. Yeah.
Sophia Lebrecq, 48 goals, 28 assists. Nevaeh Shover, 47 goals. Wow.
Yeah, they're the 1-2 punch in the league. And that's been the big rivalry in Section 2, LS and Cocalico. Yep. Whoever wins those games ends up winning the section usually.
Fun fact, for the first 32 years of my 34 years doing this, I never ever covered anybody named Nevaeh, which is heaven spelled backwards, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. Oh. Now I've covered 3 Nevaehs in the last 3 years.
Is that the origin of the popularity of that name?
I believe so.
Heaven spelled backwards?
Yes, it is. And there was a basketball player from Hempfield, I think, and I was talking to her, and I was like, I don't know about anybody named Nevaeh. And she said, oh, it's heaven backwards. I said, oh, that's clever. Yeah. That's clever. I never really knew that. District rankings, LS is 10th, which surprised me, and Cocalico's 8th in 2A.
Yeah, they both have some non-league losses. So they've been, I think LS has 4 non-league losses, so that's dragged down their power rating a little bit.
Yes. Okay. We delivered on the lax. Pay attention. We're getting pretty close. First week of May. They'll wrap it up and then playoffs start. All right. Where's the wheel spinning next? What do you got?
Well, I'll go through some track things since we talked about it.
Yes, please.
The big invitational last week was the Roddick at Shippensburg. Again, that's where the states and district championships are held.
Yes.
David Moran, 154.89 in the 800 for Anvil Cleone. He's the defending 2A champion.
Yes.
Oliver Funk, also from Anvil, 421 in the 1600. That's the best time in the LL this season, but the distance runners haven't announced their presence yet. It'll get lower. The big numbers that I noticed were at the Twin Valley Invitational, which is an unusual Friday track meet up in Elverson, which is in Berks County.
Yes.
Right across the line, like Conestoga Christian.
Stop it.
So, Sadie Stubbs in the long jump was at 18,975. She's garden spot, 5th LL history. You get close to 19 feet in the long jump.
Jeez.
Anything close to 19 is incredible, and she's right there. She's only 2 inches off. Oh. And then the Cedar Crest girl I mentioned.
Yes.
Not Cadell Howard, not Eliana Schneider, not Travis Furmansky, not Landon Weber, all these incredible studs. Kenzie Wamsher in the 1600 458.
Under 5.
Only the 11th girl in the LL to break 5 minutes.
How about that?
So she is not a name that people have talked about a lot, but she is on the list, I think, all-time 11th.
Powerhouse. Yeah. Powerhouse factory.
Cedar Crest. Like when you're secondary athletes, like the ones who aren't number one top of mind, are breaking 5 minutes.
That's pretty great.
That you have a special team, a truly extraordinary team.
What was in the air at Elverson last Friday?
Well, the warmth is good for the jumps. So you want warmth for throws and jumps, but I don't know. It's not so great for the distance running.
Yeah,
so. But it is a Friday meet, so it goes into the evening. So it's
which is cool. Track meets under the lights.
Yeah, it's under the lights. It's one of the few.
Yeah, you don't see many of those.
And the weather cools down for the runners, so it's not as oppressive even if it's a hot day.
Yes. Interesting. Any other track tidbits? It wasn't a huge week for
No, we didn't mention Hector Vergara for
That's a new name.
Last week. At the Jeff Bradley, he ran 21:65 in the 200, and that's 6th all time in the LL. So he's another big time sprinter, and I'm pretty sure we forgot to mention him last week, so I wanted to make sure that we pointed that out.
Okay. I saw Octorara was in a meet. An invitational over the weekend. I saw Pro K won the jab. I didn't see what his distance was.
Yeah, he was over 205 in the dual meets, which is incredible.
Speak to the athletes right now in LL track and what they're doing, just from your 25,000 foot view looking down. It's pretty amazing.
The girl side especially.
Oh,
this has to be. I mean, I don't know how you quantify what the greatest era is.
Yeah, you can.
This has to be among it. We have the best 100, 200, 400 javelin, discus.
Yeah.
Like, we're 2-time state champion in Sofia Rivera at Ephrata. We have Schneider, who's a future heptathlete, Eliana at Cedar Crest. The best sprinters of all time. We got milers breaking 5 minutes.
Yeah. Cadell Howard could go to the Olympics.
She might. Yeah.
I mean, really, I don't. I'm not kidding you. I say that in all seriousness.
She's going to the SEC, so
we'll see what she's made of there.
If you go to the SEC, you are truly
you're moving
in the upper echelon of all high school.
You're moving, but if she goes down there and clocks everybody and. She could make Olympic trials.
Yeah, and she's getting faster, and that's the thing. To continue to get faster when you're already at the level she's at is very difficult.
It's amazing. It's a great time to be an LL track and field athlete. Okay, volleyball, let's go inside. Past the halfway point last week, so we're on the second half of the section schedules. 2 undefeated teams left standing in LL volleyball. Can you name them?
CV?
Correct.
I don't know the other one.
Hempfield.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Hempfield. They're kind of back and playing Black Knights volleyball again. They're 7-0. They got a 2-game lead in Section 1. That's a lot. Penn Manor 5-2. Cedar Crest 4-2. So they're tied in the loss column for second place. Thursday night, Cedar Crest at Penn Manor. Circle it. Section 2, CV. Again, I saw them last week at Cocalico. Played great. Beat the Eagles fair and square, 3-0. CV's 8-0 and in first place. Manheim Central 7-1. Cocalico 6-2. Eagles are kind of dangling there. 3 teams for 2 spots for LL playoffs. Monday night, not sure why. Volleyball's Tuesday, Thursday. Monday night, Cocalico at Manheim Central. That's kind of the juiciest rivalry going in the league right now. We'll see if the Eagles can spring one to tie the Barons. Central gets another shot at CV in a week or two. But CV and Hempfield, they've been the story in volleyball. What else? What do you got?
One thing you notice about spring and fall sports
Yes.
is the regular seasons are a blink.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it's not basketball.
Soccer is 6 weeks and it's over. Like all your league games are condensed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first week in May, regular season's done.
Yeah.
That's not far off. So
No, not at all.
it gets late early in the spring sports because, graduation and prom and all that's kicking in. So.
Yeah, basketball is late November, December, January, February,
March.
It's 5 months.
We're still doing all state for boys basketball.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
Did the season even happen? It feels like it was ancient history.
I'm still waiting on that. Okay, softball. Again, it's getting late quick. They got like 2 weeks left. Cream is rising. Warwick 5-0 lead Section 1, 2-game lead. Solanco 5-0 lead Section 2. They beat E-Town 7-3 last week in their big rivalry. Northern Lebanon 5-0 lead Section 3. Catholic 4-0 lead Section 4. They got a 2-game lead. I looked at the district rankings in 5A. Solanco's number 1, E-Town's number 2. Mules and Bears will see each other again somewhere.
Yeah, Solanco, you talk about special times for a program.
Yes.
They got through last year, through the league championship undefeated.
Yes.
And they have that kind of team again. So they really want that district title, which slipped away last year, and to maybe win a few state games.
Yep, and they got Kira Rourke in the circle, and she's good.
Yeah, it's really about the pitcher. It starts there.
Big time in softball.
If you don't have one, you're toast. And the teams that are undefeated in the sections are the teams that have typically the best pitcher in the section.
Yep. Cream is definitely rising in softball. Let's mention tennis. Team tournament underway. The semifinals are Monday as we record. Country Day at Manheim Township and Hempfield at Manheim Central. Winners play Tuesday at 5 o'clock at Conestoga Valley for the team championship. The singles and doubles flight tournament start on Thursday. That'll be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. It's a tennis fest, so those championships are underway. We'll see who wins the team tournament on Tuesday. Any other notables? I have a few.
Basketball,
Hoops.
Northern Lebanon.
New coach.
Scott Ativo. Yes, he was Steel High grad.
Oh, yeah, I remember watching him play.
2000, I believe. He was with the Rick Binder teams of the early 2000s when they were they were making state runs and winning district titles. 6'8", played shortstop in high school.
Wow.
6'8", they called him the Dancing Bear.
Nice.
Because he had, I guess, great footwork, and he can play shortstop at 6'8". That's crazy. That's hard to do. So Northern Lebanon has some young guys. They had a couple. There's some of their best players were sophomores. They're moving up to Section 3 in basketball, so it's going to get harder for them. Ativo coached at Elko under Brad Connors, and he was most recently at Halifax. And his son, Corey, was a standout at Elko, also 6'8".
Yeah, that's right.
And played at Arcadia. So he has Scott has a lot of LL ties and has been in the league and connected to the league for his whole coaching career just about. So it's a good get for Northern Lebanon.
Nice.
That must be an attractive job because
it's gotta be.
Yeah, they got a pretty good candidate.
This
is his first head coaching job.
Oh, okay. Their second straight Harrisburg area guy coming on.
Yeah, Franklin Wilson Jr. came from Harrisburg.
That's right. Yeah. Halifax is a haul.
Yeah.
You've been there lately?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why he's not coaching there anymore. Stay a little closer to home.
Just when you think, there's a Halifax exit. Okay, well, it's another half hour.
Keep going.
Oh, man.
They've been very good in basketball, too. They've made some district finals.
Yeah.
So he was on a good staff.
Yeah, their girls' teams over the years have been good. They've won some district championships over the years, et cetera, et cetera. While we're talking about hoops, Tuesday night, get to the Derb, Manheim Central. It's the girls' basketball senior all-star game. They're going to steal a page from the boys' side and play one of them bracket round robin thing. That's at 6 o'clock at Manheim Central. And then post game, they're having a 3-point shootout. They will also announce the Chad McDowell Memorial Scholarship Award winner. We miss Chad all the time. former Solanco coach. We lost him a couple years ago. They'll announce that award winner, which is a special award on the girls' side to win that. I have a football notable. Hey, why not? One coaching vacancy in the LL. You kind of forget about football in April. Pequea Valley will name its new coach the first week of May. I think it's May 7th. School board, they have their candidate. I don't want to ruin it. Let's let him get the votes, and then we'll break it. It's a name a lot of you will recognize. This guy is coached in different programs in football and basketball, and we'll reveal that after he gets the votes the first week of May. Yeah, stay tuned. What do you got? Anything else fun?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Heading down the stretch here, we're at the second half of the league schedule where the games start to get a little bit more meaningful.
Yes. When's the Crest McCaskey track meet?
That's usually the last one of the regular season. Yeah, that's early May usually.
Okay, that's always like Section 1 championship
and they
stuff.
Compete like it's a major invitational.
Oh, yeah.
They the top dogs all run in their best events, and they try desperately to win that meet.
Yeah, I think Cadell will run that day.
That's where Gabe Lewis got hurt as a senior because he was trying to beat McCaskey in a dual meet because those are the big rivals in Section 1.
Oh, man, that's right. Where's McCaskey been running track this season? Because their stadium is a mess. Not there.
Yeah, probably Catholic, I would guess.
I thought I heard they were running at Mennonite.
Oh, maybe Mennonite.
But if not, maybe they're doing all road meets. I can't confirm or deny that. Okay, good stuff. LL Spring Sports approaching the finish line, and then we'll have the postseason, which goes on for another month. But hopefully it gets warmed up and it stays there. So where are you going this week? Anything? Where's the people going to see you?
I'm at Penn Medicine today for Catholic and Pequea Valley, and then Hempfield for Crest and Hempfield Baseball. Those are playoff implications, trying to get second place, those two games.
Tuesday, I got the All-Star game. Wednesday, shameless LMP plug. We're doing these town halls. You can come out and meet us and throw questions at us and et cetera. That's at the SMAC at Millersville University on Wednesday evening. I'll be at that.
Hopefully nothing but kind words.
Oh, yeah. Come on over. Say hello. Shake some hands and fire some non-fastball questions at me, and I'll do my best. Thursday night, I'm going to do volleyball, probably Cedar Crest at Penn Manor, which could be for second place there in Section 1. Okay. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you listening. It's the LL Sports Podcast for Jason Guarente, Jeff Reinhart here. Thank you, Tyler, LMP and Lancaster Online. Enjoy the sports. We'll see you next week. Thanks.